whether it's your patients in your clinic or you see stuff on social media, what is happening psychologically where you have a want, like you have this desire, but you just can't get yourself to move in that direction?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. It's funny that came up because this comes up in some of my groups that I do too. Like I do these skills groups, and like, you know, when you ask people what are the things you want to talk about, like that was one of the
Yeah.
biggest first topic that we talked about the first couple weeks, right? Um, you're gonna hate me for saying this, but it's again, it's complicated. I can't generalize what that is for everybody, right? It's really important that the behavior is I'm not getting done what I know I want to do. That's the behavior that we know. There can be various reasons why that is, and it just depends on the individual. I mean, for some person, they might be a perfectionist and the bar is set way too high. And they're like, well, psychologically, they're like, well, if I start doing that, it's going to take way too much energy and I'm at my capacity. So I'm just going to hold off and not do that. For another person, it's like, yeah, hey, I know what I need to do. I just can't do it. There's some executive functioning issue, could have been a head injury, could be ADHD, or it's like, hey, like I want to do this thing, but it's kind of boring and there's not a lot of interest in getting distracted. Again, that could be an ADHD thing. Someone could be depressed and they just literally don't have the motivation, the energy inside of them to do that thing. For others, it's avoidance because they don't want to feel anxious. There could be performance anxiety, like a concern around, well, if I do this and it's not, you know, right or perfect, then, you know, I set myself up for failure. And or it could be, you know, substance use, right? We know that substance use, especially if it's, you know, quite consistent and your brain changes, like your dopamine centers change. There's nothing that can give you that much dopamine in the world. And what happens is you get like everything just seems like really dull, right? And nothing really gives you that dopamine, that hit, which is really important for, you know, motivation. I also think that there's something really important about like meaning and purpose, and spirituality can be really helpful in having a sense of direction. And I would ask an individual that too. You know, there's something about having like a scaffolding, like meaning, like what does your life mean? And the people who can answer that, they have a more clear path and like direction, and like they know where they're going or where they want to go in general in terms of the life they want to live. And I think that gives people dopamine too. Like it's not about getting to the goal, it's the pursuit of it also provides dopamine and motivation as well. So I think there's yeah, I would say that those are some bits that I would think about. I would think also around, you know, with my patients, I think about values. Like, you know, we kind of have a general idea of like what we value, but like sometimes it's just like, ah, yeah, I value that because it sounds good. Like, you know, I value like with my kids and I value this, but then when you actually kind of look at someone's life and it's like, well, you value that, but where are you actually putting your time and energy? And is it out of alignment? And sometimes people just haven't sat down and thought about what they value. So we do like a values worksheet. And what's your top 10? Like there's a list of 50 things. Like what would be the top 10 that just kind of is you'd say, yeah, this is something I value. And then what would be the top 5 out of that, right? And to me, that's gold. Like that's such gold. Those are the things like that only the individual, it just like, you know, there's something about that lifts their spirit, that it's I think of like a sailboat analogy of, if you know what your values are, then you can actually turn your sails so that you can catch the wind and the momentum that comes with that, and even like find the right current. If you know this is like a current. This is something that really gets my, really gets me going and gives me energy. If you set your life up like that, you're gonna feel like a momentum. You're gonna have energy. You're gonna have some passion, which is really, really important. Super important, right? So it's like, and it's like, and I think that's the thing that I try to teach people, my patients, is like, what are the things that, what are the moments that do get you, or like listening to certain music, or maybe moments in a TV show. It's like, yeah, that seems like really meaningful to me, helping people, just being of service to others. Like if that's a thing that you love, that's gold. That's good to know. And how do we actually practically like build that into your life, right? That you can live a value-based life and just feel like you're working towards something. I think there's a lot to say about that.